Yo, my friend, welcome to Coach Paul's Life Tip Podcast. This is a place where you are going to be set free through every single day, challenges, struggles, possibilities, all of those things in your life. These life tips are going to help you navigate to your process. Hit that subscribe button here on iTunes and drop me a review down below if you like my content. You could also follow me on Spotify, iHeart, and YouTube. Now, here's the kicker. If you want to watch me live, you can pick me up live every single day on Facebook at facebook.com/Coach Paul Ibarra. I come on 7:30 a.m. every single morning, Central Standard Time, to bring you these tips. So once again, that's facebook.com/Coach Paul Ibarra. So if you are all about community and helping build a community, then that's the place to be. With that being said, sit back and enjoy the ride. What's going on, my friend, and welcome to another Life Tip with Coach Paul Ibarra. I am here in Greeley, Colorado, and it is getting another snowfall. We just got everything melted, and all of a sudden, the snow wants to come again. We're probably expecting 2 to 3 inches of snow. And so, do me a favor. This just dropped in my spirit. Let me know where you're listening in from. If you have that moment, drop me a review. Let me know what your weather is like out there, or you could drop me an email at identityofonecoaching@gmail.com. I really want to connect with you, my friend, and everyone who's listening into this podcast. Share this out, whether you're in India, Ghana. I mean, I'm looking at my demographics and this thing is going everywhere. So thank you so much, my friends, for tuning in. So let's dive right into our life tip for today. And that is life tip number 36. New adventures yield new life, and new life, new routines. So I'm going to share a little bit of my backdrop of why I've even chosen this tip for today. So just recently, my wife and I moved to Colorado from Texas, and a huge transition. I've never bought a house. I've never sold a house. And so this transition was, some days was challenging. Some days was easy. Some days was, it was okay. But for the most part, it kind of went pretty smooth. And so as we pack up our dogs, got a new truck, purchased the house out here, we still had to stay in an Airbnb for about 3 weeks before we were able to close on this house here. And so through that, there was a whole lot of new routines that had to take place. This Airbnb was probably about 500 square feet, if that, my friend. We had just moved from a 1,800 square foot house. My office, my studio was, pretty nice size. Living room's big. We had space for the dogs. They had their own little area to live in. And so now we're all in this 500 square foot Airbnb house. So that's like a quarter of what our house size is. That's kitchen, living room, dining area, showers, upstairs bedroom, and that's it. So there was no yard for my dogs. There was nothing there for my dogs. And so every day I had to leash them and take them out for their walks at least 4 or 5 times a day. So that was a whole new routine. And so as the tip is for today, new adventures yield new life. So in this transition, it was moving, and then it seemed like a big move, but it really became a new adventure. This adventure was so cool because then we were able to relearn our dogs. We were able to start taking them out for walks because, granted, they were not socially driven dogs whatsoever. They were not around people a whole lot. The only time they saw people is when people came to our house. But for them to be, part of a dog park, it just didn't happen in our home. And so that adventure of taking them out to the lake in Texas, they started to love that area. They were running freely, a huge lake. So a lot of lawn space for them to run around. Well, fast forward, now we're on our way from Texas to Colorado, hauling a Hyundai behind our Toyota Tundra, and our dogs are in the truck with us. and we had to give them some CBD so they could relax. But along that journey, they had to urinate. They had to use the facilities just like us human beings. So every stop, we'd have to get our dogs out, put them back in the truck. Sometimes they would whine because they were tired of being in the truck. We finally get to Colorado. We're in an Airbnb, and boom, shaka, I'm looking around. I said, there's nowhere for these dogs to roam. So again, now we're living in a small space and having to take them out every 2 hours to go and handle their business and keep them exercised, right? So I wrote this tip about 3 weeks ago. And I write different tips every day because different things come into my mind of the situations and experiences that I've had. And so as I was writing this today, right now, I'm like, it really wasn't a chaotic transition. It became an adventure, right? And with the new life, I had to have new routines. And so what does that mean? Routines had to shift in order for flow to take place. Now, I'm not talking about flow from Progressive commercials. I'm talking about life flow, the flow that we have in life that we have to continue to maintain. Everything in life has flow, ebb and flow. Things have to work together in order for the next thing to happen, right? And so in this, the routines had to shift. And this is where flexibility has to be part of the equation. You have to be flexible in your life, in your state of mind, because it's all about perspective in order for the flow to take place, right? And so what did I learn this season, this transition, this adventure? Here's what I learned. That what may have been good last season or what may have worked last season just may not work this season. All right. So the pivots in life must take place. You must learn to pivot in your life in order to get to the place where flow can take place. Everything has to have some kind of flexibility. There's got to be flexibility in your moves. There's got to be flexibility in your business. Now there are things that do remain. There is the foundation of things that remain. Number one, we're not going to get rid of our dogs. That's the foundation of our home. Number two, we're not going to argue about who's going to take the dogs out for walks. That's the foundation. We know our jobs. You follow what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is everything else that's on top of that foundation, there has to be a little bit of wiggle room. Everything can't always be perfect, and everything definitely doesn't go your way. So the pivots in life, we need those in order for routines to have purpose. Every routine is on purpose. And the only way that those routines can take root is with your flexibility, a whole new mindset, so that when those routines come into play, it's actually going to benefit you and the other parties that are involved. So how did that benefit me? It got me walking more. It got my bigger belly a little bit smaller. It got my legs moving. It got my hips to be a little bit more flexible, because going on 50 years old, your body hurts a little bit more than it usually did, right? And so you got to keep the body moving. And so now that we're in our house, I could easily just be like, I'm not going to do that. No, I still have to keep the routine because our yard doesn't have any gates. So those gates, with the gates being open, these open spaces, I can't just put my dogs in the backyard, right? Everything worked out for the good because we didn't know that there was no gates here until we moved in. I said, oh, okay, this is why God has been grooming us and conditioning us in a way to where we can create new routines in life. So my question for you today is this. What areas in your life do you need to be flexible? Where do you need to be more flexible in your business, in your career, in your marriage, in your home, in your parenting, in your job, your workplace, your ministry? Where can you be a little bit more flexible so that new routines have purpose and you create that space for them? Start somewhere, my friend. Look at your situation. If you're constantly frustrated every day going into work or going into ministry or going home, something has to change. Remember, what worked last year just may not work this year. All right. So that's what I got for you today. Remember, reach out to me if you need me at setfreelife.net. All of my resources are there. My coaching tab is there. Book a session with me. See if this program isn't something that you have been looking for, and I'll see you on the next one. God bless. I want to thank you once again for tuning in to Your Life Tips with Coach Paul. If this podcast has brought value to your life, hit that subscribe button, my friend, and drop me a review if you haven't already. And just a reminder, you can catch my latest live tips on facebook.com/Coach Paul Ibarra, 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time every weekday morning. And if you or anyone needs help in any area that you have heard me touch on, I am here to serve you, my friend. Visit my website, setfreelife.net, to schedule a free call with me, Coach Paul. So until we meet again, keep it moving and share some kindness with someone today. God bless.